It's Israelite School at UPK. Started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanna. This is the 49th annual Passover. Make sure you come and be there with us at the Grand Roosevelt Ballroom, 2nd Hudson Street, Yonkers, New York, 10702. It's a $200 fee, you understand, per family. If anyone has trouble providing the $200, make sure you get with the captain over your city as soon as possible. Remember, it's both an honor and an obligation for all Israelites to attend the Lord's Passover, which is only with the Israelite School at UPK.
That's right.
If the $200 cannot be made for your family, it will be provided by Commanding General Yohanna. Hotel arrangements have also been provided. If any brother or sister would like to reserve a room, contact the captain over your city immediately. If any brother needs transportation or help with transportation, report to the captain over your city immediately and a charter will be provided round trip. Shalom.
I.S.U.P.K.
Shalom, Israel. This is I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanna. Since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth of the Bible. That the Bible is a black man's book. Today, I want to bring out the topic of Martin Luther King, how he was a false prophet, and Martin Luther King did not teach out of the Bible. He actually taught another doctrine. Let me get Jeremiah 23rd chapter, 25th verse.
Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said.
He have heard what the prophet have said. Read.
That prophesy lies in my name.
Prophesying lies in his name. Saying things in a state of everybody should come together and join hands. This is not in the Bible. The Bible is a black man's book. It is written for black people, and it speaks all throughout the Bible of being a holy people. Black people, Hispanic, and Native Indian people being a holy people, separate from other nations. Read, I
have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Saying what?
I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
This false prophet is going to say, I have dreamed. Who does that sound like? Who did we hear have that big, I have a dream speech out in Washington? Read, Doc.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets?
How long should this be in the heart of the prophets? How long should you dwell in this dream that you concocted in your mind? Read.
That prophesy lies.
Read.
Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
They are prophets of the deceit of their own heart. Martin Luther King, in his famous I Had a Dream speech, he goes off into saying how he sees white girls holding hands with black little boys. That is the desire of Martin Luther King's heart. He is the one that got caught in the got recorded in the Watergate Hotel with white women. He had a lustful desire for white women, and that is what was in his heart when he was leading the people astray.
And he started walking across the campus to see her.
And then we found out that he was getting kind of serious.
He said, well, what do you think about us getting married? And I said, well, I don't think it's a very good idea. You know, I said it would be wonderful if we were a different time and we were different people, but I don't think it would work.
So we asked him to sort of break off because he would be leaving the seminary and he could not go back to Georgia and take her as his wife.
I would say he was brokenhearted. I think he was probably more angry that he would have feelings for someone and he couldn't go ahead and do what he wanted to do because of the race situation.
King knew that in the segregated South, a mixed marriage could prove fatal. Black men had been lynched for a lot less.
Saying that everybody should join together. Read.
Jeremiah 23 verse 27, which think to cause my people to forget my name.
Now Martin Luther King and his doctrine, because he wasn't teaching the doctrine of the Bible. He was teaching Gandhi's, what Gandhi taught, nonviolent and all of that. In the Bible it says that God is a man of war. And all of this nonviolent talk, that is not of the Bible. He was not teaching of the Bible. He was teaching another doctrine from other gods. And these Indian nations, these Indian that's over there drinking out of the same bowl as a rat. That's the doctrine that Martin Luther King was teaching y'all. And doctrining it up like it had something to do with Christ, when it had nothing to do with Christ. Read out.
By their dreams, which they tell every man to their neighbor.
Read.
As their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
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 As the fathers have forgot the name for Baal. Their fathers have, our fathers had lost the name of the Most High by following a prosperity god. Baal was a great farmer of prosperity and all of that. That's the reason why a lot of our people go astray, is because of the fact of following prosperity and following that dollar. And that's what Martin Luther King was teaching. Read.
The prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully.
That's right. That's just like the prophets in the I.S.U.P.K. since 1969 have been bringing out this truth of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Speaking the word faithfully. Just like this false prophet was bringing forth his word. Read,
Jeremiah 23 verse 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams.
These false dreams that Martin Luther King said he had, that the Lord is against that. The Lord is against everybody coming together and joining hands. We are not to be tied to these wicked and foul nations. The Lord, and the word, it says, don't find your rest in this place. This is not our resting place. Read,
And do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
You cause our people to err through these lies. Martin Luther King taught all black people to try to join hands and try to fit into this American society, which is not of the Bible. This is not of the Lord. Read,
And by their likeness yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all.
And Martin Luther King and his civil rights movement, it didn't do anything for black people. It didn't do anything for black people but sent us in the opposite direction. And before the civil rights movement, it was tons of black business in black neighborhoods. Now who has the businesses in your neighborhoods? All the Arabs have business in your neighborhoods. It's a Chinese spot in all of your neighborhoods. All the people that own the land in your neighborhoods are white people and people of other nations. Your dollar don't even circulate in your neighborhoods no more. That's why it says that it doesn't profit the people at all, saith the Lord. Drop that out. Grab me Deuteronomy chapter 13, starting at verse 1. Martin Luther King had done nothing but set our people back in time. Our black people had came out of slavery and have established great things on this American soil, being separate from the white man. Being segregation was great for black people until just like Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street and all the things that they established in that time, Black Wall Street was so hated by the white man that they came through and bombed everything. And that's the type of things those are the type of things that we could establish if we stayed separate from these people and not joined to them. All right, give me Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giving thee a sign or a wonder.
Giving you signs and wonders. That's what Martin Luther King tried to do as far as all the people that he was able to gather together. This was something miraculous in the eyes of black people. Black people had never seen people come together and join together like they had done for this movement. And it could have been something extremely powerful if they had better leadership and not somebody that's trying to fulfill his own lust and join into these wicked nations. And he was paid by white men to change the whole civil rights movement into another whole different movement. That when a civil rights movement was established, they were supposed to march down to Washington and lay down at the airports. That's what the whole march was about. And then it got changed to something totally different because this brother was paid off. Read, Doc.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 2. And the sign of the wonders came to pass.
Read.
Whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after our gods.
Now Martin Luther King, you can see Martin Luther King, and he had a speech where he talked about how he followed Mahatma Gandhi and what Gandhi taught, and how he was so intrigued by the things that Gandhi taught and the books that Gandhi wrote. It was like 4 different books, he said, that inspired the things that he was talking to and leading you to. Mahatma Gandhi, his God is not the God of the Bible. So what he's leading you to is leading you to worship and to follow other gods. This has nothing to do with the Bible. Everybody want to link non-violent to Jesus Christ and Jesus saying turn the other cheek, when Jesus was not speaking about other nations when he said turn the other cheek. Jesus was talking about forgiving your brothers if they've committed a crime against you. Not forgiving a white man for all the atrocities that he had placed on our people. Read,
let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
That's what Martin Luther King do. And that's what Martin Luther King, the legacy that he left behind. Martin Luther King, his nephew was just on TV the other day, and they was talking about what should be going on Martin Luther King Day, and he said that it should be a day that you should serve, that you should go and serve. So if you got a job, you should go and you should work that job. And Donald Trump was standing behind him with a smile on his face because he's like, yeah, that's a good slave. And that is the lineage and the tradition that Martin Luther King and his doctrine passed down through this nation.
President Trump, Vice President Pence, and to all assembled here. If my uncle were here today, the first thing he would say is, what are we or what are you doing for others? And that's why it was so important that my aunt Coretta Scott King returned to the Congress now about 10 years ago and asked that the meaning of the holiday be changed. We did not want the King holiday just to be a day of hero worship. As his nephew, I certainly think that he was one of the greatest Americans that we've produced. But it should not be a day of hero worship. And that's why the Congress agreed with my aunt and also made it a day of service. So that we, on that day, as a matter of fact, at the King Center, we refer to it as a day on, not a day off. It's not a day to hang out in the park or pull out the barbecue grill. Amen. It's a day to do something to help someone else. And that can be as simple as delivering someone's trash or picking up the newspaper for that elderly person who can't get to the end of the driveway. Bottom line, you're doing something that benefits someone other than yourself. That's the proper way to remember my uncle and the proper way to celebrate the King holiday. So, President Trump, thank you for taking the time to acknowledge this day. Thank you for remembering that we're all Americans, and on this day we should be united in love for all Americans.
To be a good slave to this white society. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
You should not listen to this man. You should not listen to this prophet. And no matter how eloquent his speech is, you should not listen to the nonsense he speaks, because it is not of the Bible. It's a scripture that says when a man of God is to speak, he should speak of the oracles of God, not of his own lustful desires. That is what this man talked about. Read,
or that dreamer of dreams.
That dreamer of dreams, of a white girl holding hands with a black boy. Read.
For the Lord your God prevaileth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all of your soul.
Read.
Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him.
You shall walk after your God and fear him, not Gandhi's God and non-violent. That is not what you should walk after. Read.
And keep his commandments.
Keep the commandments that is written in this book. All these eloquent speeches that you hear from Martin Luther King, if you see he's not quoting scripture but a few times in these speeches. The things that he speaks is not of the oracles of God. Read.
And obey his voice.
Read.
And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him.
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
What was that?
And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
That dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. What happened to Martin Luther King down there in Memphis? What happened to him on that balcony? Read.
Because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
Because what he did, the atrocity that he committed, was so wicked, he turned God's people away from him and towards some other God that people don't even know. That people don't even know. You don't even know what it is, what you is worshiping when you worshiping Gandhi's God. Gandhi could believe in any kind of nonsense, but you are listening to it because it's in an eloquent speech by Martin Luther King. And he put a nice little bow on it and tried to infuse Christ into it. Read.
Which brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
And redeemed you out of the house of bondage.
This is what your God has done for you. Read.
to truce thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in.
Which thrusts you out of the way. It thrusts you out of the way. Read out.
So shall thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
So you should not follow Martin Luther King and what he's trying to teach, because Martin Luther King he had that lustful desire. That's the reason why he led you astray. You should not follow his doctrine. You should follow the law, statutes, and commandments, because that's what the Most High wants you to do. Let's drop that out. Give me Deuteronomy 7. Start at verse 1 for me. Because God did not set up a land for a holy people to be following and to join with all of these wicked nations. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Ain't nowhere in the Bible does it say to join with this wicked nation. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Read.
And has cast out many nations.
And has cast out many nations. Why would the Lord set up a land for you to go and possess and then cast out people if he just wants you to join with all these wicked nations? That is proof right there that the Most High do not want you to join in with all these other nations. Read.
The Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Greater and mightier, meaning stronger and larger in number. Read.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver thee before thee, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt smite them.
This is the God of the Bible right there. A man of war. Saying thou shalt smite them. Not hold hands with them. Not walk up and kiss them. Smite them. Read.
And utterly destroy them.
And utterly destroy them. That is the God of the Bible, a man of war. That is not what Martin Luther King doctrine is about. All love and hugs and kisses. That is not the God of the Bible. Read.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
You should not join with these people. You should not join in with their customs. You should not be celebrating MLK Day. You should not be celebrating Christmas and New Year's with these people. You should not take upon the customs of these people like it speaks of in Jeremiah chapter 10. Read.
Nor show mercy unto them.
We shouldn't even show mercy to them. It's when we was to go and possess the land that God had promised for us, we wasn't supposed to show any mercy to them. So why now do you think that we should join them or be holding hands with them? Read.
Neither shall thou make marriage with them.
Neither shall you make marriage with them. Now, a lot of things that people don't know about Martin Luther King. For one, his name wasn't really Martin. His name was Michael. That's one thing that people don't even know about Martin Luther King. He was a liar and a plagiarist. Majority of the theses and things, dissertations and things that he had to write in school, those things were plagiarized. He didn't even write them himself. And even everything down, even into the I Have a Dream speech was not of him. It was written by somebody else. Read.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son. That is the
God of the Bible teaching us to be separate. Drop down to verse 6 for me, y'all.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Thou art a holy people, a separate people. God had never meant for everybody to join hands and walk in love and peace, all of that nonsense. He knows that the white man is the devil, and he knows that he don't want you join with these people. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto him.
He has chosen you to be a special people unto him. A special people. Read.
Above all people.
Above all people. Not on the same playing field, not on the same level. Not holding hands with these people. Above these people. Read.
That are upon the face of the earth.
All right, drop that out. Go to Luke chapter 22, verse 36.
Luke chapter 22, verse 36. Then said he unto them, but now. Now what is that written in right there, bro? In red.
That is written in red, which means what?
That's Jesus Christ speaking.
That's the Lord. That's Jesus Christ speaking. He's speaking right now to his disciples, I believe. Read.
He that has a purse, let him take it. And likewise his scribe. And he that has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
Now, if Jesus is about nonviolent, and this is who Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be following and supposed to be teaching his doctrine, why is he telling his disciples to sell their garments and go get a sword? Because the God of the Bible is a man of war, not nonviolent. Drop that out. Let me get Revelations 18:4. Because what Martin Luther King was about in joining this wicked nation, it had nothing to do with the black community, you know what I'm saying, rising to be equal with white people. This man was lining his own pockets because he was paid. He was paid to take the civil rights movement, hijack it, and to change it into something different. You know what I'm saying? To fulfill his lustful desires. But the God of the Bible teaches us that we are a holy people and we should be separate from this wicked nation. We should not try to join into into this wicked society. We should be doing our best to do the opposite. Yeah, because and Martin Luther King, him and Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was not even the first woman to refuse to give up her seat on the on the buses. It was a sister that came out not giving up her seat before Rosa Parks, but she was a dark-skinned sister and not appealing to American society.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.
Well, earlier this year, the nation marked the 100th anniversary of the birth of Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat on a city bus in Alabama to a white man in December 1955. Her act of resistance led to a 13-month boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott, led by a young minister named Martin Luther King. In Washington, D.C. last month, President Obama presided over a ceremony unveiling a statue of Rosa Parks in the U.S. Capitol.
Rosa Parks' singular act of disobedience launched a movement. The tired feet of those who walked the dusty roads of Montgomery helped a nation see that to which it had once been blind. It is because of these men and women that I stand here today. It is because of them that our children grow up in a land more free and more fair, a land truer to its founding creed.
While Rosa Parks became a national civil rights icon, she was not the first woman in Montgomery to refuse to give up her seat on a city bus. On March 2nd, 1955, 9 months before Rosa Parks' arrest, a teenage schoolgirl named Claudette Colvin boarded a city bus after school to head home. As it filled up, a white woman was left standing, and the bus driver ordered the 15-year-old Colvin to get up and move to the back. She refused and was dragged off the bus in handcuffs. 3 weeks later, the New York Times ran an article headlined, "Negro Girl Convicted. She is held guilty of refusing to move to the back of the bus."
Read,
Revelations chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people."
Come out of her, my people. It's right here the Lord is telling us to come out of this wicked land that we're in. Come out of her. Not like getting on a plane and leaving it in that way, but leave this place spiritually. Take your heart out of this place. Stop celebrating Christmas. Stop celebrating MLK Day and treating him like he's some type of prophet or some type of God. You know what I'm saying? Got statues of him like he was just such a great man. And what did he do for our people? How has the civil rights progressed our people since that time? Read,
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That you be not partakers of her sins, because the Most High knows if you join into this wicked nation, you just gonna continue to take on their acts, and you gonna continue to take on their likeness. And this wicked nation that we living in, with all the drugs and all the violence and all the nonsense and all the wickedness that goes on in this place, man, this is no place for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have no place in this place. We are to follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the Most High for us to be what He wants us to be, in a position of power. Shalom, Israel. That's my time. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West Harlem, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Shalom.
We want no cowards in our camp,